is going on, everybody? It's your boy Brendan, aka Drip, back with another video. In today's video, I felt like after the ban list and the fact I haven't touched this deck in a long time, I needed to give a updated profile for Monarchs to you all, so you all have something to use in the upcoming format and for like several formats down the road. Typically I revisit this deck if like something drastic changes in the format or something new comes out or something comes off the ban list. So I felt like since I haven't touched Monarchs in a long time, that I would give you all a fresh new profile. But with that being said, if you don't mind, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that as well, because that would require you to hit the bell notification. Check the description for all the ways to support me: Discord, Patreon, PayPal, and my affiliate link is down there as well for TCG Player. It doesn't cost you all anything extra, just gives me a kickback for you all using that as a quick link to get to TCG Player to buy your cards, and I love you guys so much for it. But this is going to be a deck profile and a discussion. Obviously, there's no extra deck, it's Monarchs. So, a lot of things in this list is going to trigger a lot of people, but my history of making changes to this deck shows for like it proves itself to be like adequate to be like a good thing to do. I'm not going to steer you guys in the wrong direction. Now, a bunch of Monarch old heads will probably get mad at this list because there's a lot of things that are different, and they're still holding on to when this deck was in its prime. I love you all, but you gotta let go sometimes and keep up with the times, literally. But start out 3 Ether. Ether is Ether. She's the best card in the deck. Next to her counterpart, Erebus. Erebus is the boy. Nothing needs to be said about this. A lot of this is cookie cutter. Ether is Ether, and Erebus is Erebus. Then Little Monarchs, we got 1 Kuraz, and then one Delg. The Dark Monarch. This card absolutely fucks, bro. This card is nasty. Definitely gets Fire Kings, and since the game right now is so like graveyard reliant, this card is nasty. Being able to summon it off of Ether if you need to. Instead of like using Kuraz, because summoning Kuraz against like Fire King is just you're turboing their deck for them, but so like summoning this is really nice. So Delg is very, very disgusting. Definitely in graveyard reliant formats, kind of like this format. So, and moving forward, that's it for the actual Monarchs. I'm not running anything else. For the starters. 3 of the Pendulum, and 3 Mithra. This is where a lot of people are going to get mad. I'm not running Adios and the other one. I'm not running Dia and Adios or whatever. They're too normal summon reliant, and right now you just want to put bodies on board without normal summoning, commit your normal summon, because we're not like bird shit, aka Flunderies. We don't get extra normal summons or have a field spell or anything like that that gives us an additional normal summons. So our normal summons are very, very crucial, and we want to be able to put bodies on board without committing our normal summon if need be. And other cards that help us turbo that out is Fenrir. Fenrir helps us while putting a body on board, and then Ogre, and then Riseheart. These cards help us put bodies on board too. This can put a body on board and search either of these. They can search this to put 2 bodies on board before a normal summon. This can also search this, which this also shares the same stats as a Mega Monarch, while also being able to be manipulated as levels manipulated by our domain. So these are very good extenders and very good at putting bodies on board without committing our normal summon. But yes, these guys put bodies on board without committing a normal summon, which is very crucial. I know typically when I got Fenrir put on the map when it comes to this deck, I was running 3. But I decided to drop it to 2 just because I wanted to try to keep the deck count as low as possible, and it's already at 42, which is usually a sin when it comes to this deck. You never want to go over 40, but the deck is still very consistent as is. if you get drolled, then that's just it. No matter what else, even if you're running a 40 card deck, if you get drolled, then you're just not playing. But I like these because Fenrir and definitely Ogre can be a double tribute if need be. So sometimes, like when you get in those hands or where you can't get to a big guy to tribute summon, they can help you with that. Now just on to Monarch goodness. 3 domain, 3 pantheism, 3 tenacity, 3 stormforth. That's basically standard. That's it for the spells. I'm not running anything else. Wasn't missing anything else while I was testing. Consistency. Morganite. I thought about cutting this card since this card right here came to 3 and to keep everything like at 40, but I decided to keep it just for the grind game. Morganite and Upstart. And the last spell is 1 return. I did decide to keep the return. You can make this March if you want to. I just felt like keeping this because I run Vanity's Fiend in the side deck and the Majesty's Fiend and all that, so I could search the Majesty's Fiend or whatever. So I decided to keep it for that. That's it for the spells, like I said. On to the traps. The only pseudo non-engine card that I'm decided to run is 3 evenly matched because this card just wrecks everything in the format. It can help us just clear boards, and just losing the die roll kind of sucks with this deck anyway, so you need blowout cards, and this is a blowout card. If it was more of a nib heavy format, which it could potentially very well be, you could like potentially make this nib, because in theory nib puts a guy on board for you, which already sets you up for turn 1. Sets you up on turn 0 for your turn 1. But evenly matched hits all the combo decks. It hits all the mid-range decks and even the control decks. And this card can completely swing the favor swing the game in your favor, just resolving that. And then the last 2 is 1 prime and 1 erupt. I was running 2 prime, and you can argue running 2 prime. Definitely with D.D. Crow and stuff going around right now. But I decided to keep it at 1. If you want to run a second one, just drop the 3 Upstart Goblins and add this, and it puts the deck at a clean 40. I just put Upstart in there for consistency because drawing is drawing is drawing. If I'm going to go head on into draw, I'm really going to go in head on to draw and just keep drawing because this deck likes to draw, and yeah, that's basically what it does. It draws. So, but that's actually it for the deck. I like the deck. It's 42. Like I said, the only thing I would potentially cut would be the Upstarts. You could potentially cut cut Return if you want to. You cut Return and Upstart and run 2 Upstart and make it 40 if you were really that set on keeping it 40. I don't care about running 1 Prime even with Crow going around, because if they're going to Crow that, then that's fine, because then I can just search something off Pantheism for free and keep going from there. So if they're going to waste their Crow in that and not Pantheism, then we're fine, because typically by the time we can keep resolving Prime, we already have so much board presence anyways that we don't really need the extra body to keep tributing over. I just like it to just in case for early game states, and it's very good in early game states when you draw it in tandem with Pantheism for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, I'm not running none of the Fiends in the main deck because going second, they don't do shit for you. Yeah, and potentially you can use Vanity's Fiend to lock your opponent when you're going second to turn off like their monster effects from them, like nuking your board or doing whatever they want. But then if they just have an imperm, you just lose. So I'd rather side deck those, because in theory, like if you go first, for an example, like no one's got back row removal right now, so like Domain is enough. Domain Ether is enough. Domain Ether and like Stormforth is enough. Whether you're bringing out Curaz or you're bringing out the Dark Monarch, or even like Fenrir, Ether, Domain, that's more than enough game 1. And then when you're going second, like when you're going in game 2, You can side in whatever you want. They're not going to let you go first, obviously, so evenly matched will be able to stay in. You can side out, return, and like um, a Tom tearing or whatever, and side in more like board breakers / hand traps like Nibiru or something like that. If you're playing against a deck that plays in Nibiru, granted, if you're siding in Nibiru, I would take out evenly matched because they are counterproductive. One thing I do know also is I know Tom tearing is counterproductive with Mithra, but you just resolve Mithra first before you do time tearing, then you're fine. Then if you once you resolve time tearing, even if you have to normal summon Mithra still will give you the additional normal summon anyways. So it doesn't matter; it just works out. You don't get the chance to special Mithra. You just normal it as your first normal summon, and then your second one you'll get a second one off of your time tearing, and then you'll get an additional one if you used your second normal summon as a tribute normal summon, and you use Mithra because Mithra will give you an additional one. So only thing it cuts off is you being able to special Mithra basically. But if you special Mithra first before activating Tom tearing, then you're golden. But I really like this. I love Monarchs. If you have been a member of the channel for a while, you know I've played Monarchs for a long time, and it's been one of my favorite decks for a very long time. And I've dug deep to do what I can to make this deck viable, even before Pantheism came to 3. But I really like this list. I really like this deck. I really think Evenly Mash is a very good spot in there. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the list. This is a very quick video. It's just Monarchs. No extra deck, no side deck, nothing needs to be said. But I really think this is a very good list, and Monarchs is just one of those decks where it's fun to pick it up and catch people off guard with all the time. But I hope you all enjoyed the list. Again, please check the description for all the ways to support me, and I love you so much for it. Please check out the channel for related videos or anything like that. Let me know in the comment section how long you've been playing Monarchs, and if you like the list. If you use the list, how did it work out for you, whether you played it at a regionals, locals, whatever event you played it at. I like to hear you guys and your all's experiences. Also, brain fart. I can't remember. Shit. But either way, I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you later. It's your boy Brennan A.K. Drip from Team D.D. Sign out till next time. Peace. Good dueling, my guys.